Don't do it. Just because you've got a high-pitched voice doesn't make you cute. You boy. Hello everybody, Sunny Bonani 안녕하세요. 저는 아조라입니다. And today, first of all, I want to say thank you very much for my 45 subscribers. When I got to 30 subs, I was on that don't call me, I will call you tip. Okay, I'm famous now, is basically what I'm saying. Thank you guys for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. Also, if you haven't subscribed and you've watched my videos like 2, 3, 4 times, I will find you. I will hunt you down, okay? And I will steal your puppies.
Jesus Christ.
Subscribe, press the damn button. Subscribe. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. My initial video was actually going to be about ways in which Korean culture has edited my character and my personality and the ways that it could do it for you. I recorded the video and everything, and I posted a small section on Instagram that talks basically briefly about Koreaboos. And somebody commented on my Instagram post, and she was like, "Girl, aren't you a Koreaboo too?" And I died. I nearly died inside. I was like, what? No, the short answer is no. But I could see how if you don't have a good idea of what a Koreaboo actually is, you can confuse me with being that. So today, I'm gonna set the record straight. So I'm gonna give you like a brief description of a Koreaboo. Koreaboo basically is somebody who is so infatuated and obsessed with Korean culture that they want to be Korean. They go so far as to denounce their own culture, and they basically wish they were Korean or were born Korean. Most of my content is about K-dramas and K-pop idols. So I'm a fangirl because the actors are obviously handsome, you know what I'm saying? And they good storylines. I like the way they're made and directed it. And I also like K-pop, firstly because the singers and rappers are nice and good looking. Okay, generally I'm thirsty. That's what we're getting down to here. So I'm a fangirl. But a Koreaboo is something totally different. I'm gonna be reacting to a couple of Koreaboo videos. I think it's necessary for everyone to understand just what is meant by a Koreaboo and just someone who likes Korean culture. So the first example I'm gonna give you is not a video. I'll speak briefly about him. It's a dude called Ollie London. Ollie London is basically a man who spent over $150,000 to look like Jimin from BTS. Now, I don't know much about plastic surgery. I personally don't see or think I have a need for plastic surgery, but I have nothing against people who decide to go and have plastic surgery. The issue then becomes for me when you try and change how you look to look like somebody else. Now this, for those of you who don't know who Jimin is, I'm gonna bring this closer to you so you can take a look. Now take several looks at Jimin. Okay, take look at him, all you just don't fall in love. Okay, he's mine. So take all the looks you need about Jimin. Okay, now let's have a look at Ollie London. This is Ollie London before surgery. He's a decent looking guy, and I'm sure he's a very nice human being too. This is Ollie London after surgery to look like Jimin.
Wait a damn minute.
Completely different. Well, it looks weird. Now if you put the two next to each other,
why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
So this is the level of Koreaboo-ness that I'm gonna address and talk about, is that it's okay to be a fan and a fangirl, but when you want to be something that you're not or someone that you're not, you then border into the Koreaboo zone. And the second example I'm gonna give you before we start this video is Jian?
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
He's a Brazilian model who underwent several plastic surgery procedures, including removing his double eyelid. Basically, he took like the skin on the top of his eyes and pulled it. I don't know, they did some plastic. You know what? Let me just show you the picture.
He needs some milk.
So that's basically at the most extreme side of Koreaboo-ness. This is what you get, is people who actually physically would like to look and be Korean. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't look the same because we're structurally different. Biologically, structurally different, man. We're just structurally different. A Caucasian man's bone structure is not the same as an Asian man, as an African man. So when you try and make that transition from one race to another, 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna come out looking right. Like if I were to meet him in a dark alley somewhere, I'm calling the cops and I'm running. Okay, that's just basic. I'm scared. These eyes look like there's nothing there, no soul. Let's move on to reacting to these videos already.
Hey, what's up everyone? It's your girl Christina Zhang here. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. Wow.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay?
Okay.
No more! Where the fuck are your parents?
Okay. It is time to stop. Okay, it is. Now this is the number one thing with Koreaboos is that people watch K-dramas and they see this thing called aegyo, which is when the Korean actresses act cute and they put on a high-pitched voice and it's like wah, wah. And you see it a lot in Japanese culture as well, where people try and emulate anime. The thing is that in real life, people don't actually talk like that. And there's this misconception that just because you've got a high-pitched voice and you're a girl, that it's cute. Just because you've got a high-pitched voice doesn't make you cute, okay? And it doesn't make you Korean and it doesn't make you Asian. It's not an Asian thing. It's a K-drama thing. It's an anime thing. You know what I'm saying? Normal people don't talk like this. So this is like number one. If I sat here all day in front of your faces and I was like, okay guys, so today I'm gonna be talking about the things that I like for you, you'd find it pretty annoying. That is what they don't realize, is that nobody talks like this in real life. It's not a thing. Just because you have a high-pitched voice doesn't make you cute, and it certainly doesn't make you Korean. Korean guys look at it and they're like, "이게 뭐야? Is she crazy?" Okay. This has got to stop. Okay. I don't know when this video was made, but I can understand that at that time, maybe she didn't know that it's something that would be offensive. So a lot of Koreaboos are obsessed with looking Asian, and they'll do certain things like, I'm gonna take my eyeliner and put it down. That way it makes my eyes look smaller. That way I look Korean, I look Asian. Or like I've seen people put tape on the sides of their eyes to pull it back and give that look. It's not cute. They don't find it cute. It's quite rather offensive. You can be pretty and you can like yourself and still appreciate another culture. It's okay.
Bling bling! You gotta put the marshmallows in your mouth, and every time you add one, you gotta say bling bling. Add one, bling bling, until somebody can't say bling bling. It's just a cute thing for like your cheeks will look bling bling. It's a sound kind of, I think.
Okay, so Meg Bowen, for those of you who don't know her, and I'm sorry if I don't know how to say her surname properly. Meg Bowen is not a Koreaboo. Meg Bowen is actually married to a Korean man, Mr. Moon, and she speaks fluent Korean, and she's been in Korea for quite some time. So I think this video just basically highlights some of the things that Koreaboos tend to do, which is like hop on like Korean trends and do sort of Korean trendy things or cute things without actual context, and not knowing what it's all about. But Meg Bowen, no, is not a Koreaboo. She studied Korean, she speaks fluent Korean, she's married to a Korean guy, and she's quite successful in Korea, so no. And Meg Bowen is still Meg Bowen. In fact, in most of her intros, and I think all of the intros that I've watched from her, she tells you that she is American. 저는 미국 사람입니다.
저는 미국 사람입니다.
And we are here to give tips on how to get a Korean boyfriend.
남자친구 원해요?
Fighting! Number 1, learn the language. First thing that you have to do is call their attention. And you do this by saying,
오빠!
never ever call them
아저씨.
or
삼촌?
do not do that. Also, some of the basic phrases that you have to learn.
Okay, so I don't know when this video was made. They could have been right for, I mean, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie about it. Oppa is a popular word for Koreaboos because they see it a lot in K-dramas. Oppa refers to a guy who's older than you or your brother. Oppa also refers to your boy. You can call your boyfriend Oppa only if he's older than you. The problem with this is, as a foreigner, first of all, nobody in Korea is expecting you to call anyone Oppa. In fact, nobody in Korea is expecting you to be able to speak Korean or follow Korean culture because you're a foreigner. You're not Korean. Okay, so it's not an expectation for you to walk up to a random guy and be like, Oppa, Oppa. First of all, you don't know how old he is. Second of all, it's a lot of Korean guys that don't like to be called Oppa. I mean, when I started my online finding Korean people to talk to, it was one of the questions that I had for people. Literally, it was an introduction, I am from, and then we'd get a little conversation going on, and then in the conversation I would ask, how would you like me to address you? Would you like me to address you by your name? Would you like me to say she? Which she is like sir. So Kim, she is like the surname of the person, and she, which is sir. It's more like a respectful way to address somebody older than you. And I only did it with people that were older than me. Guys my age, I just sort of just said their name and that was it. Some guys are like, okay, you can call me Oppa, please call me Oppa. And then some guys are just like, oh, you can just call me Pak. And I'm like, okay, cool, Pak. So the problem with Koreaboos is that this doesn't apply to them. Koreaboos will run around calling any and every guy Oppa. And that's not okay. It's not okay because some of these guys are actually younger than you. All right, you don't know their age. And secondly, they might not necessarily like being called Oppa. Like I know BTS had a thing, I think it was Jungkook, who was like, I'm not your Oppa.
오빠 아니잖아요. 오빠 맞아요. 계속 오빠라고.
정국이 오빠.
이제 앞으로 우리 아미 여러분들 앞으로 주민등록을 지금 갖고 오세요.
네, 그거 나이 보여주시고.
Some of you are older than me here, which is true. So don't go around just using words randomly because you think it makes you sound cute. You look crazy. You look absolutely crazy and foolish. Don't do it. And overall, it can just come off as cringy. You know, the word oppa, it's usually associated with aegyo when you watch K-dramas. You'd be like, I can't do it, my God. Every time I try to be cute, my body is just like, But you'll see it later on in a video that I show you. Oppa is not, no one is expecting you to call him Oppa unless it's an agreement between you guys. Please. It's just like you wouldn't expect an Asian person to walk up to you here in Africa and be like, Yon Jayam, like, what are you doing? You know? Oh my dad, no. No one, no.
오빠, 나 이거 사주면 안 돼? 오빠 돈 없어. 안 돼. 아, 나 진짜 필요해서 그래, 이거. 아니, 너 핸드백도 많잖아. 아, 오빠. 안 된다고 몇 번이나 말해야 돼. 오빠, 하은이는 오빠가 너무 멋있어요. 그리고 하은이는 오빠 엄청 사랑해요. 뿌잉뿌잉.
Okay. Okay. That is what is known as aegyo. in Korean. 애교 in Korean is basically when a girl acts super cute 9 times out of 10 to get what she wants out of a guy. It's kind of basically when somebody, you know, your boyfriend says no to something, you're just like makes me so sick. I can't do it.
이 여자 사람이 나보고 누구냐는데
여자친구.
오빠 너무 작잖아. 더 크게 말해줘.
여자친구야. 이쁘지?
Even the actors themselves, when it's time for them to do 애교, they laugh and they can't do it in one take because it's something that's just it's not normal. People don't walk around the streets of Korea doing 애교. And also the thing about 애교 is that 애교 works well when you see it on a K-drama because there's production that goes behind it. Like there's lighting, first of all, there's camera angles, people zoom in at the right moment and zoom out and they cut the clips. And then there's background music to support the cuteness of the 애교.
에라는 싫어. 똥만이가 안 했으면 좋겠도. 뭐를 막 불사르니 나발이니 개소리는 안 했으면 좋겠도. 힝.
You can't just be busting out in 애교 in the middle of the street as you are. No lights, camera, action, just walking up to a guy. 오빠, 나는. Don't do it. Please, stop.
놀러했다.